I mean, one of the things that sort of concerns us, and I think I've raised it before, is the amount of time parents are having to wait to see a paediatrician or speech and language. And I think the thing that just came through about basically closing down the referral system for children with autism. So you can't even get on the waiting list. Now, those children are coming into schools. We have lots of, and I think everyone would agree with me here in the schools. We're seeing more children coming in with more need than we have in the past. Mm. And there's obviously complex reasons for that. But it seems like, I think it was Sirona, they did this whole thing and there wasn't consultation, from what I read, with the local authority about it, on the impact that was going to have on parents and schools. Now, one of the things that Bristol has been asked to address by Ofsted is relationships with parents around SEND. I don't see how this kind of thing is going to help, where basically you can't get a referral. You can't put these children, you know, where do they go? And there was a big question and answer thing came out, and you know, for things to ask, and most of the answers are sorry, we can't tell you. And I read that and I was thinking, well, how are we in this situation where this can happen? You know, again, I think that is to do with how we join up with the different services, how we work together, how they support us. But it's even this whole thing went through without anyone in the local authority knowing about it. I thought, you know, these things are all impacting on real children and families now, and they're the children that are coming through our doors, and these are the people that we're talking to every day. And now having to say, well, we can't refer your child, there is no pathway for them. I just wondered if there was any kind of feedback on that.
I can't speak on behalf of Sirona, no. Simon.
But it has impacted us. It has impacted schools, and it is impacting parents.
I think what we can do, Simon, is note that you've raised it, and then we'll take it off outside of this meeting to follow up as appropriate. Okay, in terms of we need to contact around it. But Rena, if you're happy to take that one away, we'll follow up as we can.
Of course, Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. And I was really just trying to raise the same query that Simon had. For mainstream primary school, we are seeing an increase in children coming from nursery with high needs, additional needs. And I think we are still in a post-COVID world, and the impact is still ongoing. And we are going to see that, you know, for our cohorts going all the way through. And we don't know when that will end. You know, like Simon said, the fact that we've been told that basically we can't refer any children now on the pathway. So there won't be any professionals coming in to work with those children. That means then that we're not able to get the evidence to put to top-up panel to get the additional funding to support the children that need it, you know, and then the implications on staff who are then working with children who have additional needs and are on the front line, and that's why there's a retention crisis, because, you know, staff are coming into work and they are being hurt every day in work, you know, and the support from specialist provision isn't there because the resources aren't there, the financing isn't there, so it seems to be a secular situation. And, you know, saying we're going to reduce the amount of children who are, you know, reduce the amount of high needs funding, I agree with Simon, really is probably going to create more problems in the short term and could lead to less retention of staff in mainstream settings. You know, with regards to sending children to independent settings, the places weren't there. They haven't been there in the local authority. They haven't been there. You know, I had a pupil who waited 5 years and they now are taking a taxi to Stroud every day to specialist provision. And of course, nobody wants that. But, you know, like Steve was saying, if there was any indication of the extra places that are now available, so that we're more aware of that, and what, with the Belonging with SEND program, how far that's progressed, where the additional places are going to be, what the focus of those additional places. For instance, SEMH, there's a massive need for SEMH provision, and some update on where we are with that would be really useful.
Yeah, I think we can definitely take that one away and bring that to the next meeting, because I know we've shared it previously in a previous forum meeting, and I know there's lots of work that's happening in the background in relation to providing specialist places, resource spaces, etc. Yeah, we can definitely take that one away. Thank you, Jo. But I don't know if you wanted to add anything, Rena, or we can just bring it to the next meeting.
No, I'll bring it to the next meeting.